everyone, I'm Marigo, and today I'm going to show you 5 ways to use Roar, the new saturation plugin in Ableton Live 12. Let's check it out. All right, so got a little simple beat here. I'm soloing out this percussion sample here, which I think is pretty cool, but I want to spice it up a little bit. So we're going to take Roar, throw it onto my percussion track here. Let's turn up the drive. And then let's start turning up the amount on the shaper. And you can already hear how we're just getting some, I don't know, like a fuller, more distorted sound. Pretty cool. And then we also have all these different options for the shaper. So we can get kind of increasingly crazier with how drastic this is. Try the polynomial. We've got a filter option here, so we can take some of the high frequencies out. Let's try the fractal. Let's turn down the amount a little bit. Turn up the drive a little more. Cool. So that sounds pretty cool. Let's hear it without. And then with. Okay, so just adding a lot of extra texture and kind of noise and cool effects to it. So I do want to clean it up just a little bit. So I'm going to throw on the drum bus effect. And on the drum bus, we're just going to take this transient knob down. And you can hear how it's sort of cleaning up the sample a bit, making it more percussive, shortens the transients, right? So if I take it up, the opposite happens, kind of gets more washy and more noisy. So I want that more percussive sound. Awesome. So let's group these together. I'm just gonna select them both, hit Command G, and let's listen without. And then with those two devices back on. Cool, and then let's hear it with my beat. Awesome. So highly recommend checking out Roar and just some of the very basic parameters on your drums and your percussion. Sounds super cool and can get some amazing results very quickly. All right, so I've got a melodic sample here, and we're going to use Roar in the multiband mode to kind of isolate some of the different frequency ranges and put effects on them kind of separately or accordingly. I'm going to drag Roar onto this track. And now we're going to check out this routing section here, change it to multiband mode. You can see we have a bunch of different ways of using this. So we're going to do multiband mode. Now we have these couple tabs here. And we can use this expand button to actually see everything in more detail. So, you know, when it's like this, it looks like a really simple device actually, but there's so much going on and a lot more you can do with it than just sort of the basic knobs here. So we've got our lows, our mids, and our highs. And if we turn some off, we can start to like work with the parameters individually and sort of tailor the sound. So here we are with the bass. And down here, we can adjust where the bands switch over. So here the low end is 200 hertz and lower. We could take it up a little to include a little bit more of the mids and start affecting it. Ooh, let's like really crank this baby up here. And let's take the frequency down. Get a nice warm bass sound. Ooh, that's cool. Nice. We can turn the volume down a little bit. And then let's play with the mids. Turn off the lows for a minute. And maybe the mids we want to kind of, I don't know, like scoop out a little bit. Make them like a little bit more of like an effect as opposed to this like rich sample. Let's maybe get like some noise. Let's try to get some noise here. Noise injection. Maybe like do a bandpass filter. Just kind of isolate a certain section. Cool. Turn this down a little. Add in the highs. Let's take out the mids and the lows. and just kind of hear the highs here. And again, we can adjust the range of the highs here, take it down a little to include like more of the frequency range in the highs or less. And let's see, what's shards? Let's check that out. Ooh. That's cray. All right, cool. All right, so I've got an idea. I'm going to, let's minimize this for a second. I'm going to duplicate this, and we're going to make one the low end, and one's going to be like the mids and highs. And so on this one, we're going to actually turn off the mid and high, and this one, we're going to actually turn off the lows. And let's play them together. And let's throw on some reverb to our highs. Cool. Let's throw on like some drums. Awesome. So really cool to work with the multi-band mode. Pretty awesome stuff. Let's check out Roar on some vocals. So got a song here. And I'd like to use Roar to kind of beef up the vocals a little bit, add some saturation. So let's grab it, drag it onto a vocal track, start playing around. Okay, so I think that actually sounds really cool as far as like distortion on the vocals. But it's a little much, so I'm going to show a trick here. This isn't new to Live 12 or anything, but we're just going to group this. So I'm going to select it and hit Command-G, Control-G on Windows. And we're going to open up the chain list. Chain list is this little icon right here that sort of looks like a paragraph symbol. Right? That's our chain list. We've got Roar. I'm going to right-click, Create Train, and then we're going to rename it. And this is just going to be our dry vocal. All right, so now we've got two chains here. We've got the dry vocal, and then we've got Roar. So basically we're doing like some parallel effects here, just using chains. So I'm gonna turn, well, let's listen to Roar first and kind of do what we want, and then we'll start bringing it in, blending it with the main vocal. Okay? And because we're blending it, we can be like a little bit more extreme with the sound. And so let's do something kind of interesting. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do, turn the dry signal back on. And then we'll take this all the way down, volume, and we'll start blending it in. And let's solo out the vocal here. I don't think so. Oh, here we go. She don't give a shit. Is she dangerous? Maybe you should take it slow. Cool. So we can add some interesting distortion and stuff. Maybe you want something a little more straightforward. Just kind of warm up the vocal. So. Oh, here we go. She don't give a shit. Nice. That sounds pretty good. Oh, no. Nice. So here it is without that effect, and then with Roar. And we could even go a step further and create like a sort of slapback delay effect there. Let's grab the delay, and we can put it on. So I'm putting it on the this top chain. The dry is still dry, and we can let's do the delay first. Let's turn off sync. Let's dial in the time here. Solo out the vocal. Too close. But I didn't feel the hit. So I know. Should I have one down? No, I don't think so. Let's take the dry. Let's take Roar down a little bit. Turn it up a bit. Kind of the longer we make this delay time, the more, I don't know, slapbacky it's going to be. We can turn it down. Let's hear it. Pretty cool. Awesome. And we can even go in and, you know, do some filtering, just make it even more detailed. We can even add some reverb to that, make it like really washy. Nice. That's pretty dope. Okay. Cool. So you might not want that through the whole song, but could be cool in little sections of it. Just something fun you can do. So either blending in just some saturation with the vocal or creating a slapback delay with a delay effect and maybe some reverb. So pretty fun stuff there too. So let's check out some of the other crazy parameters in Roar. So I'm going to throw it on this vocal track again. I've just isolated that little opening line, and we're just going to do some like crazy sound design with it with all of these awesome options here. Let's just turn on a little bit of saturation here. And so we have these LFOs down here and an envelope follower even. So let's start doing some mapping. So over here on the right, we have a modulation matrix, which makes like just endless possibilities available to you. So let's start with something pretty simple, and we'll take this frequency. You can see when I click on it, it highlights it in the modulation matrix for me, and I can turn it up, send it to the LFO here. So you can hear the filter kind of opening up. Let's sync it to, it already is synced to the project. Let's turn the rate down. So we're going to get a little bit more of like a wobble effect. And if we turn the frequency down here, it'll get more drastic. And if we use one of the more extreme shapers, we're getting something even more interesting there. Cool. Let's check out this tone knob down here. So in the, we have this input section here with the drive, tone amount, and tone frequency. So I'm just going to kind of move the knob. Let's map this to LFO2. And we can maybe try a different setting here. So maybe we could do... All right, let's take that rate down. And then we can even change the routing to maybe like, let's do parallel and try adding some more interesting sounds to it. All right, so I've picked the polynomial shape. We're gonna turn it down a little bit. So let's change this to a high pass filter, take it down a little bit. Let's isolate this stage 2 out for a second, just so we can hear that on its own. Okay, so let's map the amount. Check out this little noise section here. So this is gonna be sort of a random generator of different kinds. So we've got like simplex, wander, sample and hold, and brown noise. So let's click on the amount to highlight it over here in our modulation matrix. And then let's just crank it all the way up here so we get some like a really obvious effect. Let's try sample and hold, and we can take the rate down to like a quarter note. You can see this moving around and just creating some like random different noise. Let's bring in stage 1. So if we wanted to, we could then sort of print that, freeze and flatten. And now we've got like a cool sample to work with. So lastly, we're going to check out the feedback section of Roar, which can be used to do some really fun sound design stuff. So I've got Roar loaded up on this little flute arpeggiator thing going on. This is my little beat. We've got, back in our routing modes, we're going to now select feedback. Second tab appears for our feedback. I don't know, let's do something kind of drastic here so that we can, maybe we'll do that polynomial one again. That one's kind of fun. Okay, so we're not hearing anything because we still have to turn up our feedback amount. We can just do time or sync it to our project. So we've got 16th notes now. Let's do a little bit more editing here. So I'm going to take the frequency down so we don't get anything too high pitched. And then let's sync the amount to one of our LFOs. Let's go just LFO 1 is fine. And I'm not going to make it too drastic. And we can just do like a regular sine wave. Let's turn it up a little bit more than that. Woo! And then, of course, you can go really extreme with the feedback stuff too and blast it out and just get some crazy sounds that might be good for, like, you know, resampling and turning into like risers, right? That could have been like a cool riser sound, just going really extreme with the, so like doing some resampling with the feedback effect can also be a great way to build up some samples in your sample library. Well, that's 5 ways that I've been having fun using Roar in Ableton Live 12. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe and check out some of my other tutorials. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for other topics you'd like covered. Enjoy and happy music making.